Okay, this is notes on 11.3 areas of circles and sectors. It's very easy for you guys to understand. Page 137 of your notebook, 414. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Let's see if I can get that because I want to do one side and then the other and use my calculator. All right, so you guys all know, and this talks about how you figure out below a circle is a radius and circumference and pieces of each of the circle, and then it adds up. The number of congruent pieces increases and then rearrange to figure out that it approaches a parallelogram. And then this is basically the foundation of finding the area of a circle. All right, so I'm going to slide this around. As you know, the area of a circle is pi r squared. But this is the definition, and this is how they came up with figuring it out. All right, I'm going to move down because I'm going to go quick. So now we have a little bit of real life situation. We have a putting green here, which has a diameter, it looks like, of 20. It didn't come out real well, but that'll work. So then you're just going to find the area by putting the radius in. So pi times 10 squared. Is that, let's see if that's, looks like it's blurry. And that's better. 10 squared, so pi times 10 squared gives you 314 approximately. So if you did that on you, as you know, on your calculator real quick, pi times 10 squared, enter, and you get 314.1 rounding to a foot, the nearest foot it says, so 314. All right, any questions on that? All right, let's move down the page. So here's a guided practice. It says an archery target has a radius of 12. What is the area of the target? To the nearest square inch. So they already have the answer right there. So it's pi times 12 squared because it gives you the radius. So 452.38. So I'm not going to go, well, I could do that. Pi times 12 squared real quick. And 452.38, which rounds to 452. Inches squared, remember, area is square in nature. That's what that says right there. It's not very good because it had my tape. All right, next example. So what if you have the area and you want to find the radius? So you just substitute 95 in for the area. In this case, it says find the radius of the circle. The area is 45 square centimeters. So you divide both sides by pi, and you get 95 divided by pi is 5.5 for the radius. Use your calculator, take the positive square root of both sides, as you know. So any questions on finding the square root of each side? So square root, and you can do parentheses, 95 divided by pi, like so. Parentheses, enter, and that's how you get the 5.5 rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, any questions on that? Ask me if you need in my questions. And down here I gave you an example. The area of a circle is 196 pi square yards. Find the diameter. So you would take and put 196 pi in for the area equals pi r squared. You divide both sides by pi, and I don't like how I did that because it should not be divided by that. I want to divide by the pi there. Okay, not a very good line. All right, so you get 196 equals r squared. Take the square root of r, square root, not a 2. I don't know why I wrote a 2 there. Just take the square root of both sides and you get r equals 14. But that's the radius, so the question is tricky. Find the diameter. So you would think r is 14 would be right, but it asks for the diameter. So always watch for the question. So the diameter 28, double that. So let's go to the area of sector. So I'm going to move up the page. And we're going to talk now about the area of a sector. I'm going to try to move my computer so you can see it a little better there. Okay, a slice of a circular pizza is an example of an area of a sector of a circle. Sector of a circle is a region of the circle bounded by the central angle and its intercepted major or minor arc. The formula for the area of a sector is similar to the formula for the arc length. So here's the area of a sector. The area of a sector is basically a piece of the whole. So the area of a sector, you can write a proportion area over pi r squared, because that's the whole, equals the part x over the central angle over the entire degree measurement of 360. Okay, so when you solve that, if you cross do the product of the means equals the product of the extremes, cross product, you get area equals, when you simplify it, divided by 360, x over 360 times pi r squared. So the part of what you're trying to find out of 360 times the entire area of the circle. So this is the part of the circle times the entire area of the circle. That's how you find it. So part of it. So if we did in a couple examples here. So find the first thing it says, let me read it. I'm trying to go a little faster. A circular piece has a diameter of 12 inches. So the diameter, we need to cut that and is cut into 8 equal slices. What is the area of one slice to the nearest hundredth? So you get to find the arc measure of the pizza slice. Since the piece is equally divided by 8 pieces, each piece will have an arc measurement of 360 divided by 8, or 45. So that's the arc measurement out of 360. Okay, and that's what you'd put right here. The arc measurement out of 360 is 45 out of 360 times pi r squared, because that's the part of it. So we take a look at that by finding the area of each of the part out of the whole. So 45 out of 360 times 6 squared. Why 6? Because it says the diameter is 12, so it's half of 12. The radius is 6. Working that out on your calculator. Now, if I do that on the calculator, let me see if I can move this over so I can have the calculator in here. If I was to do that, I would clear. I'd go parentheses 45 divided by 360 parentheses times pi times 6, and I don't even need that, 6 squared, like so, enter, and you get your 14.14. So the area of one slice of pizza is about 14.14 square inches. Remember, area is square in nature. Okay, and that's how you do that part. Now I got a couple examples I'm going to move down here that I did. So I'm going to try to move my calculator down as well. Let's see if I can get this squared up a little bit. Okay, so now example 1, let's say we're finding the area of this sector. So remember, the area is a part of 360, the degree out of 360 of the sector. So that's 53 if they give you the degree measurement out of 360 times pi r squared. The radius is 4, very easy to do. So if we did this on a calculator, parentheses 53 divided by 360 times pi times 4 squared. Okay, and you get 7.4 square feet, okay, or feet squared for the area. Okay, second example down here. Let me move down. Same kind of idea. So I'm going to move this down. So second example, this is a major arc now, 148 degrees out of the sector we're finding here, the area of this sector. So this is x out of 360, so this part out of 360, so 148 out of 360 times your pi r squared, which is the whole circle. So it's a part of the circle out of the whole circle. So pi times 6 squared, because that's your radius. So 145, so we'd go parentheses 145. 148 divided by 360, just trying to go too fast, times pi, again, times your radius squared, 6 squared, okay? And you get 46.49, which rounds to 46.5 square meters. Good luck, have fun, we'll talk to you soon.